Hello, Bo and Gail and Ms. Warren and anybody else that happens to see this video. Allan Vajda here. I've been meaning to dub this tape off for some time, but I'm just now getting around to it. I've got some video clips of your dad, and I wanted to edit them together so that all be in one tape, so here it is. Even though I've only been around Lake Mitchell for a short while, I guess about 16 years, I've always known what a truly special place it is. And always, right at the center of Lake Mitchell has been Blue Creek Marina. Almost every single day we spend on the lake involves a visit to the marina. Of course, the boats need gas.
The higher the figure, the higher the fun index.
But the marina has always been more than just a place to get gas. It's been a meeting place, a hangout, a local news and gossip center. But also, for me and many others, Blue Creek Marina was a place to spend a minute or two with the Poet Laureate of Lake Mitchell, your dad, Mr. Ed Warren.
Well, I'd like to say that it's always good to hear from the old folks back home, especially me.
Your mom and dad have brought so much fun, wisdom, whimsy, and wit to Blue Creek that it elevated it to the status of folklore and legend. At least for a lot of us folks it has. It's become a big part of what makes this lake so special. Like so many others at the lake, I feel fortunate to have known Mr. Warren and to have heard him recite a poem or two. I was lucky enough to capture a few of these visits on tape, and I've put them together here. The quality of the recording isn't that good, so bear with me. One thing's for sure is we'll always miss Mr. Warren, but his wonderful memory will live on forever.
You have this so you can look at the various things. Okay. Now,
All right.
Ready to begin?
We're ready.
All right. Well, here we have a walking stick. It's not a walking stick, it's a hiking stick. It's not to help you walk, but to remind you to walk in the woods. You know, the poet has said, life hath loveliness to sell. Music like a curve of gold, eyes that love your arms that hold, and for your spirit still delight, holy thoughts that star the night. Now, where do you find those holy thoughts? Do you find it in the ghetto, in the city, the paved streets? No. You find it in the woods and the stream. That's where you find holy thoughts that star the night. And these various symbols on the cane, you see here, this is the Holy Bible. If you look on your stick there, you'll see that's the Holy Bible, and it's to remind you to check them and keep your thoughts pure. And now we have here the great ear. That's to remind you to enjoy the lovely melodies of nature, the birds that sing, you know, things like that. And here we have some flowers. And that's to remind you what the poet says, flower in the crannied wall, I pluck thee out of the crannies. If I could understand thee root and all in all, I'd know what God man is. Now that's deep stuff, and that's what the stick is supposed to remind you to associate with. And here we have an old Chippewa Indian snake sign. And as you walk through the woods, you will notice, you know, usually a snake will stay behind a rock. As soon as you come by, whop, he's got you. When you get within 15 foot of a snake, he's gone. You can see him running all through the woods. It's really amazing. Has magical powers, I presume. And then we have here, that's the great eye. And of course, that's the beauties of nature to begin you with. And that, the poet, he said, ill fares the land, the hasting yields a prey, where wealth accumulate and men decay. Princes and lords can flourish or may fade, a breath can make them as a breath hath made. But a bold peasantry, the country's pride, when once restored, can never be supplied. Where do you find a bold peasantry? In the ghetto, in the pavements of the city? No, you find it in the woods and the stream, where the poet says you can picture 3 ducks on a pond, a grassy bank beyond, a blue sky of spring like we have, white clouds on the wind. What a simple thing to remember for years, to remember with tears. Now, we have one other symbol here. This is the U2 bleep. The U2 bleep, this horrible looking specimen, you can see his eyes, nose, and mouth. Well, he's to remind you, he's the U2 bleep. He's to remind you that you too may seem silly to other people, so don't take yourself so damn seriously.
Such a privilege. Such
Great.
The poet laureate of Lake
All right.
Mitchell.
A copy of that, I'll buy it no matter what you charge.
A beautiful day at the lake. I think I'll go ski.
Reese, what's that? Look right there. Look. Reese, look.
Get it, Reese. Get it, Reese. Get it, Reese.
Give it a shake, Nort.
Reese. What is it? Get it, Reese.
Here we are at Lake Mitchell, getting ready for the first and only presentation, ceremonial presentation of the deer head.
Wonderful.
Let's have, can we have a family picture here?
Yep.
Now we want y'all to take this home and hang it over your bed.
Well, we are certainly appreciative of receiving this marvelous deer head.
Well, this is,
We're
you know,
treasured.
it's one of the honors of being the matriarch and patriarch of Lake Mitchell that people bring you wonderful
It's
gifts.
wonderful gifts. We're snowed under with wonderful gifts.
And I would like to have a poem written about
Oh, you would,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful.
this. It's a pretty
That
deer
is
head, isn't it?
fabulous.
We've already had a little
Just
ceremonial.
I would love for my son-in-law to see that. Randy Gilmore.
It might fit up here. I don't know.
Oh, I hope it will.
Bo, how about under here?
In its final place. That
There's Ed. There's Ed putting up the club that he killed the deer.
Yeah,
That's right. A lot of planning, many months of research and planning go into putting that deer in just the right spot.
All right. Yeah.
That is priceless.
Now this one I enjoy. It's overdone on purpose. But then after it's over, you're supposed to think, you see. What did that man say? Because he doesn't know himself. That's the beauty of it. He said, I have a book of poems in which I read at times. It's a simple little book full of simple little rhymes. It tells about the wars and about the death of kings. And then it goes still further about some consequential things. It tells how once a rose leaf fell and wrung from me a cry. That's what I mean by consequential, but I cannot tell you why. The end.
Great.
Bravo.
Any last comments?
Last comment, farewell. See y'all later.